So next we have our guest speaker of the evening. Martin is from FunctionEight, which is IT. So the good news is he promised that he won't tell us too much about IT and more about his work and life experience of Hong Kong.
Thank you. I can't talk about megabits and stuff because I know nothing about IT. I only run an IT company. Starting with the title, The City That Never Sleeps. Originally a phrase coined for the Big Apple, for New York City, but honestly it's been adopted by Hong Kong and it could not be more appropriate. It truly is the city that never sleeps. There is no off button. And that doesn't just mean partying, it means business, it means everything. It is the city that never sleeps. So my own story, how did I come to end up in Hong Kong? My wife Shireen came up with the first one. As kids, who in here turned over their toy or their little trophy that they got as best player of the day or their souvenir from a visit, and underneath it said made in Hong Kong? Now, stuff's not made in Hong Kong anymore, but I remember vividly as a kid reading made in Hong Kong, and there was this thought process to this exotic place somewhere off in the Far East, and it sticks. It's like a subliminal message. One day I'm going to get to this place, Hong Kong. So the short version is that I arrived in Hong Kong in '91. I left the UK and I literally had a backpack on and I had about £1,000 sterling in traveller's checks in my pocket. I bet some of you can remember those things, traveller's checks. And I turned up in Hong Kong in '91. And by the time I left 15 years later, and I've got left in inverted commas there because I'm back there all the time. You know, we came to Auckland as a lifestyle choice, but by the time I left, I had acquired a 40-foot container of stuff. I had a stunning wife, got to say that, she's here, and 2 kids, both born in Hong Kong. I was the owner of my own business, and I have to say I still only had about £1,000 in my pocket. So a lot of people make their fortune in Hong Kong. I've managed to invest it all back into the business, and then things have gone well since then though. So the slightly longer version, I originate from South Africa. I'm not a Kiwi born. I came from Cape Town. I did a Bachelor of Science degree engineering survey at UCT. And I was faced by the unwelcome prospect of 2 years conscript military in the old regime. So my choices were pretty simple, either fulfill that or get on a plane. So I went to London. London, wow. That was a fantastic education. I loved living in London. It was absolutely awesome. The problem with London was it's got a winter. Now, I was born in Africa, and honestly, to cope with those temperatures is just Stupidsville. So every year we used to work sort of 8-9 months of the year, and we'd back up a little bit of pound sterling, and we'd go on a world trip. We'd take a one-way ticket, a progressive ticket around the world, and we'd go on holiday for 3 months. We'd come limping back into the UK, destitute and looking for another job. And that routine worked very effectively for a while. But then came '91 and the economy was in a bad place in the UK. And I had, on one of those world trips, been through Australasia. I spent 3 months in New Zealand. I thought, wow, this is a pretty cool place. And then I went to, on a South African passport, I went to the only places we were allowed to visit in Asia. This is back in 89, 90. And those were Singapore, Hong Kong, and Thailand. So I went to all 3. Singapore, lovely city. It's an old and corny joke. It's been tested many times. It's a fine city. They fine you for just about everything. Then I went to Hong Kong and I was there for 10 days and I truly don't think that I slept a wink. It was unbelievable. It was party on steroids. I loved it. I thought this place deserves another look and another thing. And then I went back to the UK and bumbled along for a while and I got that £1,000 that I was talking about. And so I headed off to Hong Kong and they used to call us, the phrase coined was filth. Failed in London, try Hong Kong. So I bowled into Hong Kong because I knew that there was the huge new airport project that was coming on. And I did in fact work on that for 6.5 years running the survey team, and it is a spectacular airport. But right in 99, 2000, in the height of the dot-com era, I thought, this is my chance. I'm going to get out of construction and I'm going to run an IT company. Now, in a lot of cities and a lot of countries, in a lot of places in the world, people would look at you like you'd lost your marbles, and they say, you know, you're an engineer, you've spent all your life in big project construction, you know, now you think you're suddenly going to run an IT company. Well, the best thing about Hong Kong is nobody comes up with negativity like that. You speak to people, they say, I'm about to run an IT company, and I say, that's fantastic. How are you going to do that? And then they ask you, and you can firm up your ideas. When I started the company in 2000, literally with nothing, and as I already said, no IT background at all. Just to clarify, mine wasn't a business motivating decision that took me to Hong Kong. You know, I was in my mid-20s and it was to party. But Hong Kong has a simple life rule, and it's work hard, play hard. And it goes right through everything you do in Hong Kong. And I have to say, it was circumstances that led me to possibly the greatest city of opportunity on the earth. It was luck of timing, there was a whole bunch of things that came together, and that's where I found myself. Absolutely fantastic.